If you watch some of my other videos on YouTube, you know how much I like the W116 300 SD. This 79 model of mine here, I purchased from the original owner, and it is in excellent condition. There's a number of things I like about the 116. I can remember the second Mercedes I ever purchased was a W116 350 SE Euro model. And right away, just walking around the car, you could tell this was really a solidly built car. Look at the detail work in all the chrome around the windows and up this eyebrow going over the rear door. And you look at all the detail inside, but the thing that won me over on the 116 was the way the doors opened and closed. You could tell this was a tank. Just look at this rear door. And watch how, just listen to that classic Mercedes thud. And we'll move up here to the front door too. Same thing. You know, solid chrome door handles. When you reach down and feel this handle, you know you're holding on to something very well built. Listen to that. Try that on another car that's 30 or 40 years old. But you know, this one is all original. It's had, I got it from, like I said, from the original owner. And I did make some modifications to it. Just slight modifications that make it more of a pleasure to drive and increase some of the performance of the car. And in this video, we're going to have a little quiz. We're going to see how sharp you are at possibly spotting these modifications I've made. Two of them are in the interior of the car, and two are up forward of the firewall. So we'll move up now, up to the front, and I'm going to scan that front end and see if you can spot those modifications. Okay, I'm not going to give you any clues. It's going to take a pretty sharp eye to spot these modifications. But we'll just kind of roll down through the engine compartment. It's a 5-cylinder turbo diesel engine. And right down to the front end here, all the way down past the bumper. Did you notice anything? It's not original? Okay, now looking into the interior of the car, there are a couple modifications here in the front that are not original, but they certainly increase driver pleasure, and you might be able to spot them, particularly if you are very familiar with these old 116s. You know, we who drive these old Mercedes, we do it for pleasure, for enjoyment, but there's another factor that's extremely important, and that's safety. I've met a number of people who have been in serious accidents and will now only drive Mercedes-Benz because often they'll get some sort of comment from somebody on the accident scene saying either, "Sir" or "Ma'am, if you had not been in a Mercedes-Benz, you probably would not have made it." And this 116 is one rugged tank. I can remember right after I got that 350 SE, I responded to an ad for a parts car not far from my hometown, and I drove down there and I walked into this lot and I'm looking at this old 450 SE, and the car is totally smashed up. We're talking the roof is flattened out, the rear end's all smashed in, the front end's all smashed in, the sides are all crunched. And I'm looking at the owner and I'm saying, "Sir, I don't think there's a whole lot of parts on this car that I can even use." And he looked at me and said, "Well, there might be something. You know, I'll tell you what happened. I was going around this windy road late one night. I was going about 70 miles an hour and I went off a bank," and he said the car rolled about 6 times down a hill. And he got out of the car and wasn't even scratched. And I can still remember today that I walked around that car with it all smashed up like that, and 3 of the 4 doors still opened and closed, even though the car was totally demolished. But that's another reason why I like driving Mercedes, and I really like the 116 when you're talking about an older model. The color combination on this I think is absolutely exquisite. You have the anthracite gray, and you note here it has the original chrome 14-inch alloy wheels. I know these old chrome wheels can kind of be a hassle because of the potential for air leaks. But there's something about the chrome wheels on this car that really set it off. And then with the black interior, it's one of my favorite color combinations on any old Mercedes. For a car that's almost 35 years old, this thing is a dream to drive. I would put it up against any other 1979 car on the road other than another Mercedes. And let me tell you, there's nothing that's even going to come close when you consider things like drivability, handling, braking, comfort, and particularly road noise. This car is extremely quiet. And in a future video, we're going to take you on a road test and try to make you a believer.